All right, thank you, everyone. So, Facebook audience and everybody in 411 East 35th Street, I think this is so powerful what Diamond Terry Anderson is about to present. You all, I want you to pay attention. And I know Terry, she's gonna go straight into it, but I want you to look at presentations. She's gonna talk about the plant-based, flat belly lifestyle, eating protein in life. She has a total layout. And some of you may be asking if you're coaches out there or you're about to be a wellness coach, what does this look like? And what does it feel like to be serviced, right, from a professional perspective? Like Terry is about to share with you all, and I'm sharing this with the wellness coaches and those who are looking at being a wellness coach. This is a full layout from books, flyers, blood type test kit, what you should be eating according to your blood type, a full layout. So using your tools are the rules. So let me say one more thing. This is coming from a diamond who said, and I didn't do this, a diamond who said in 1 month, really, when I look at the numbers, in about 2 weeks or less, she had 15 people to partner with her. And some of us might be asking, even myself, but now I see it, how did she do it? So take your notes. I'm looking at this. I'm like, all right, man, you see what we're all right. So bring it to the stage, you all. Give her a round of applause. Miss Terry Anderson, a diamond.
Thank you, Bakana, again. I'm so honored and blessed to be here in front of you today. And I'm just going to get right to the business. I'm going to speak a little louder. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm going to get right to the business. I know we've been here since 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But this is part of my vending promotion. When I go out vending, I vend a lot. For me, is because of my schedule of being a caregiver 4 days out of 7, I have 3 days to myself. So vending is an opportunity for me because I know this is the kind of business that you can actually do it while you are doing your business. But since I'm on a tight schedule and sometimes I'm incognito because I'm at my caregiving position, I needed an opportunity where I can go and just take my brain and give my full focus on building, creating a list, and getting everybody excited and exposing what we have. So first of all, I want to say, I'm going to make sure I say his name right. Jarvis. I'm so happy you said, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Phyllis Nash called me yesterday at 3 o'clock to tell me I would be vending, and I was in the midst of getting gas, running my errands, getting all the things I need to get done. I didn't get home until 8 o'clock at night. So at 8 o'clock, I just took my thoughts, got them focused, and put some notes down, and got some of my things. Sometimes I overdo it. You don't have to do it like this. You know, I'm a wellness coach. I take it very seriously, and I know that working with people, we're visual. So I just like to have visual available. So I'm going to start out with where do you search? So if you want to become a vendor, what you want to do is you want to start searching beauty shops, senior buildings, churches, gyms, networking events. Social media would be Facebook, Instagram, and Google. And what you would do if you were going to do a Google, you're going to Google going events in my area. You can just put in Google events in my area, closest to you, something like that. And all this information is going to pop up for you. And so from there, you can just start deciding what you want to do and how you want to do it. So the other thing I want to talk about is that I consider myself, when I'm doing events, as the event coordinator. And when I talk to my team, I say, who's going to be the event coordinator? Because it has to be somebody that leads the way and ask a lot of questions so that you'll know what you're getting involved in. And those questions would be like, who is the decision maker? How much does the event cost? Avoid high fee events. I wouldn't pay a lot of money. If it's really high, because I just did an event in October, and I think it was $600, but I think we may have had 5 people or 6 people, you know, and usually they only want 3. I would say, can we fit 2 more people in? Because those kind of events, they may cost $50 to get in, but we need 2 more passes. So you definitely want to, if you are going to do a high cost event, you want to have business partners involved in it. So let's see. You also want to find out when is the deadline for the money to be in. Now, I always ask what the deadline is so that I can know that's the last, you know, I need to have in by that date. That's a focal point for me. What are the options of sending the money to you? So you need to know who are you going to send the money to? How are you going to send the money? You know, if you find out you're not a techie person and it's all digital money, you got to make arrangements to see them in person with cash or with a check or whatever. So, and I have a lot of seniors on my team, so situations like that do come up. So what time is it? What time is the setup? What time does the event start? We need to know that. You definitely want to be there on setup time because it's very unprofessional to be coming in, setting up, and people, your guests are there and the event is going on. And in fact, the event planner will frown at you. Next thing I want to say is, how many people do you expect to come? That's a good question you have to ask people because they may not have done their job and you've done your job. And you come there ready to, you know, show up and shine, and there's 10 people. So that happens, guys. So you definitely want to ask, how did you promote your event? This is this one I just started asking in the last year, especially in the Chicagoland area. If you in you're vending in Chicago, how many other CBD companies are there? You know, I've been at places where all of us CBD companies were lined up right next to each other. And that's a bummer, but it happens. You know, you just have to stand out and you got to be more active and proactive. But, you know, you can know that before you go in. How many other CBD companies are you going to have? Actually, I got to the point that, listen, I only want to be the only one, only CBD company. Can you guarantee that? And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, now that we're in the cleansing business, how many are juice cleansing? Because you don't want to be back to back with juice cleansing other businesses. Next thing I'm going to talk about is before vending with your team, you want to develop a system on how to split the fees before the event starts. I mean, you want to have that clear because that can get kind of messy. And so thank God for the flat belly, because this one, you know, when you're meeting people and as they are coming to your table or you go out and get them, you can start having them set up or fill out the flat belly information right now. I love the flat belly whole thing that we're doing. I like I said earlier, I started vending sometime in March, like 2 to 3 times a week. No, I'm sorry, not a week, but a month, 2 to 3 times a month. I was vending, and I don't know if you guys were a part of this, but back in January, February, March, this place was buzzing, and I contributed to it. When I would go out and vend, I would send people right to the Wednesday meeting. Come here and get scanned. I didn't get my scan until June, and it took me a minute to get it acclimated and up and going. So, but I was sending people here from when I would meet people, I would send them directly Wednesday. I told them how to sign up. There's a sign up to come here on Wednesday. I had to walk people through it. I had to walk a whole lot of baby boomers through it. Sometimes I had to do it for them. So that's what you have to do if you want them to come. Okay. So, you know, while I was out vending a lot, I think about Phyllis Nash a lot because she always talked about focus on income and activity. For me, that was very important. I had a lot of pieces moving in front of me all the time, but I was like, what's an income producing activity? How do I, that's what I want to focus on. And I always thought of Melissa because Melissa always put it on my mind, Terry, you need to build, you need to build, you need to build. I would meditate on that, build. How do you build? And just, spend time focusing on what are the strategies, the systems in place, but what do I do to get the system in place? So that was in my back of my mind all the time. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of Eric Worre. He's like the #1 networking marketing person. And a couple of years ago, I listened to he had a lecture at Christmas time. It was like 50 hours of information. It was a little bit much, but out of that, he talked, a couple of things I got out of it was that he says 80% of the industry is learning how to recruit. And when he said that, I'm like, what? And it knocked me back like a horse. I'm like, this is all recruiting. And I just went, wow, and thought about that and meditated on that and just said, okay, I got to get to work. That's what my activity producing is getting the list, following up on the list, and getting in contact with people. So I follow things such as the Sales Academy. After I talk to people and find out if they're going to be a customer or they're going to be a distributor, increase my customer base. I bought the diamond pack. Oh, I bought the diamond pack in the, erase that. I'm looking at the wrong note here. But what you want to just get people to your table. You want to work with your team, which I did, and you just go out there. And it was a couple of us that were very committed to doing it because a lot of people say yes, but at the end of the day, they couldn't get involved. They didn't commit. They didn't. They just said, not now. I accepted that, but I was very committed, and the crew that was working with me was committed, and we just went out and met new people. And a lot of times, people you think they're going to be on the team are not on the team, and people you don't think is going to be on the team are on the team. It's just a numbers game. We've heard that forever, that it's a numbers game. So once I now can go to the table. So I usually carry I have the banner. I didn't put that out today because it's a lot to put up. So I just brought my little portable posters. I created these portable posters because there's when people are walking by, different people have different comments. Some people see the big belly right there. The same guy, same age, different physiques, right? And that catches some guys. Some people see this one, say, did you know disease run in the family because of eating habits run in the family? Everybody catch different thoughts. Somebody goes by and says, yeah, I make myself a priority. So, I just ask them to come on in and yeah, you're making yourself a priority. One of the things on my table that I have, which is nice, is the blood type kit. This has attracted a lot of people to stop by the table. When I ask people, do you know your blood type? Most people don't know their blood type. Some people do know their blood type. I said, okay, so now that you know your blood type, are you eating right with your blood type? And most people are not eating right. They just know their blood type. So I allow them to pick this up and start looking at the foods they should eat. And that in itself catches people's attention. Wow, I'm not supposed to eat that? Type B, shouldn't eat chicken. And most Black people are eating chicken all the time, right? So, blood type A, which I'm a blood type A. So I'm able to tell my story about blood type A. I'm able to tell my story about people that I know are blood type O. So these are things that are on the table. I have a 7-day cleanse here, but you can have a 21-day cleanse. I just went back and got the 7-day. Phyllis said to me, I can get the products here and everything you can, a snowball. But you can have, most of the times when I'm out promoting health and wellness, I'll have the cleanses and I'll have the pain cream, because that way when they're walking past, I can just say, do you have any pain? Or if I see somebody limping, I'll go, hey, I think I may have something for you. And they either stop by or they don't stop by. And so the whole point is just to get people to your table, start conversations with them, help them help them to get relaxed. 'Cause a lot of times when people come to events, they already know you want them to come to the table, so they come like this. So you want to kind of help them let their arms go and just relax and start breathing. And they're holding their breath, right? So, when they start looking at these different things here, this is one of the ones that really blew me away. These are memes that I found on Facebook, and I just had them printed and put them on this board. But how ironic, most animals die because we eat them, and most humans die because they get sick from eating animals. Wow. Isn't that profound? Wow. So, Josh, it's so much information here, but wherever your eye lands, you can just, take a look at it, and then from there, we'll start our conversation. Well, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me, and I'll tell you my story. And then we talk about doing a bioscan. And then we said, did we tell you it's for free? So people get excited when it's for free. People who are health conscious, they're like, yeah, I want to know what's going on in my heart. Yeah, I want to know what's going on in my kidneys and liver. So the last event that we did, at that event, I think I sold 2 7 days, two 21 days, and I recruited the doctor. Dr. Thomas, would you stand up, everybody? Actually, I met Dr. Thomas maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, I can't remember, but it was a lady in my community that just does the gathering of sisters coming together and just networking with each other, supporting each other. And he came in talking about sales. And he was talking about sales, and he was like a little distance away, and I was like, that's sales. But a lot of the sales, like I said, I gotta get to know this man. And that was 2 years ago. And he, I invited him to come down and talk to Melissa, and they exchanged words. And at the time, he wasn't ready. So, and so moving forward, when I went to the event in October, it was a health event. It was really a nice health event. And I think Meridian, Iola, myself, Maggie Carter, and another guy on my team named Mike, we were vending there. And Dr. Prince was one of our featured speakers. I was able to get him on the platform to talk for 2 days. And I found out later, Dr. Thomas was on the platform to speak as well. And so when I found out his table was like from here to here, his table was there. And I'm like, is that because he lost some weight? And I didn't almost recognize him. And he's like, yeah, that's me. So, the rest is history. But we're going to get out there, just talk to people. And once you get people on your list, let them know, whether they made the decision or not, let them know that it's a Monday night corporate meeting. There's another meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a Saturday meeting. Get them plugged in. Either they're going to listen to the meeting for the business part, or either they're going to come in for the scanning. Now that I'm a scanner, I can scan people when my schedule allows me. Because of my schedule, sometimes I send people here. And you just sign people up, make people become customers. Make them your customers when you send them here, because it really does add on a lot of work for the staff here. So what else I want to say? I have books here. I always talk to people. Dr. Prince brought this to our attention, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. This book is so phenomenal. My team and I, we studied this book for about 13 weeks. Every week we would do a chapter and just kind of focus on it. This is a book from, I've had in my library, Drugs Masquerading as Food. Is that true or what? And the China study, this is something that Dr. Kim had talked about. I knew about it for years, but as soon as she brought it up in our team meeting, our leaders meeting, I was like, oh boy, I just got to get that book. And I think on Amazon it's like $10, but it's just talking about, there's a study going on that when people eat right and do the right thing and start thinking better, their circumstances changes. Wow, right? So we're so blessed to be a part of a movement that, and for me, I feel super blessed because this is what I want to do anyway. So now I'm getting paid for it, I'm getting some status for it, you know, I just feel like I'm at the right place at the right time. And even if you don't want to go out and be a builder, just get your health right. Get your health right, help right now we got 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds having health conditions that back in the day was 40 and 50. So you can help your family, starting with yourself, being an example, starting, you know, helping your kids, helping your neighbors, you know, just go out and serve your community and just see what happens. So if anybody has any questions, I don't know if we have time for questions or how that works, but
Yeah, I'll take a couple of questions, and if you want to take a picture, does anyone need to get a picture of the information? Go ahead and do that too, because this is very powerful. We're we're taking pictures too, so we can kind of keep it moving, so feel free to come up and take a picture.
these are samples. I always keep the sample of the pain cream, the samples of the gummies. I just don't throw my samples away. You have to earn samples. You got to show that I'm going to really use it. So I do give out samples. And you know, so I put a little Christmas theme in it. Whatever time of the year, you can put that theme in it just to attract that type of person.
Where did you get this from?
Yeah. And the guy last time I spoke to him, he said his printer went out of business. So.
Awesome.